Welcome to the guided practice for identifying cause and effect relationships. When identifying cause and effect, you have to ask yourself, what happened and what was the result of what happened? Here are some clues. The cause is something that happens, and the effect is the result of what happened. Here are two different scenarios for identifying cause and effect. Scenario number 1. You have a big spelling test coming up. You study for 4 nights for at least 20 minutes each night. On the day of the spelling test, you take the test. Your teacher corrects it and tells you you received a 100%. Cause, you studied hard. Effect, you get a good grade. Here's scenario number 2. You want to be on a 3rd grade baseball team. You work after school throwing and catching the ball as well as hitting the ball. You work really hard for 2 weeks. On the day of the tryouts, the coach tells you did a really good job and he notices you've been practicing. He also tells you you've made the team. Cause, practice, practice, practice. Effect, you make the baseball team. Listen to the beginning part of the story of Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes, and then together we'll fill out the cause and effect graphic organizer.
My Reading Buddy. Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes. Narration by Joshua Carter. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. "She's perfect," said her mother. "Absolutely," said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. "Her name must be everything she is," said her mother. "Her name must be absolutely perfect," said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum." Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum." Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum. "School!" But when Miss Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Joe, Rita, Victoria, Chrysanthemum. "It's so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "You're named after a flower." Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. "That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet," Victoria explained. "Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now put your head down." "If I had a name like yours, I'd change it," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "I wish I could," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful, and precious, and priceless, and fascinating, and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi.
Now let's fill out the graphic organizer for cause and effect. Here's the graphic organizer for cause and effect. Look for clue words in the text that show things that happen, that's the cause, and the results of what happened, that's the effects. You will notice on this graphic organizer that we have a spot for the book title. We have a circle for the cause, and the arrows pointing to the effect boxes. Let's start filling out the graphic organizer by putting the book title at the top. The title of the book was Chrysanthemum. Now we'll fill out the cause. What happened to Chrysanthemum? The cause was Chrysanthemum loved her name, but when she went to school, her classmates thought her name was silly and they made fun of her. Now that we have the cause, we have to think about the effects. What were the results of the cause? Let's start with this first effects box. One of the effects was the other children in the class giggled when they heard her name. Now let's think back to the text and come up with another effect. Another effect is that Chrysanthemum was getting very sad. Now let's fill out the last effects box. Another effect was that Chrysanthemum did not like her name anymore and she wished she could change it. So that's how you fill out the graphic organizer for cause and effect. Feel free to go to the website, choose another book, and fill out the graphic organizer on your own.